What separates man from machine? The will to survive, cold fact from emotion, or is it just the raw materials used in both? Whatever the answer may be, the right combination of flesh and steel can make for some truly awe-inspiring results. Armor in video games comes in a wide variety. However, the power armor you can find are often among the best and most iconic you can get. Power armor is a tricky type of armor suit to define, but for this list, it'll be classified as a suit of armor that you can wear that augments the user's abilities through either magic or technology. This can be inclusions of both technological or magical origins. Finally, this is only on armor and not mech suits. While mechs are certainly worthy of praise, this will be focusing only on power suits that you can wear.
Power armor is for pussies.
With that said, I'm Jericho, and these are the top 12 best power suits in video games. In an unusual twist, Devil May Cry is actually at the top of one of my lists. The Dreadnought armor is a strange beast to be sure. In Devil May Cry 4, Dante's Royal Guard style makes a return. Usually it's a highly tactical style that is made more for showing off, but in this game, it got a rather interesting ability. Dante is able to charge his body with demonic energy, producing metallic armor that makes him completely impervious to attacks. Yeah, Dreadnought makes him actually invincible. Why is this so high up on the list then? Well, among Dante's cornucopia of stylishly destructive moves, Dreadnought isn't actually that good. The thing drains his Royal Guard gauge instead of his Devil Trigger, a precious resource for users of the style to crush opponents. It cuts his run speed, the armor dissipates fast, and the charge animation already takes a long time. Still, for making Dante 100% immortal, as well as being the coolest looking thing in history, I have to show the Dreadnought some love. Moving on from armor that makes you immortal, we have armor that makes you almost immortal. The Carbonox armor from Ratchet and Clank Going Commando was the very first ultimate armor you can acquire in this series. It left a pretty good impression too. The Carbonox will cut off 90% of damage from attacks. This is the highest damage reduction that a single suit of armor in Ratchet and Clank can give you. We also can't ignore its slick design, with the visor and the full body metallic hide. This heap of raw metal may cost an arm and a leg, but boy are you getting your money's worth. While the Republic Commando armor isn't a true power suit, it does meet the criteria enough to be included on my list. The Katarn class Commando armor is outfitted with a number of different attachments. It comes with a heads-up display optimized for team maneuvering, armor that can withstand a lot of blaster fire, a built-in arm-mounted knife, a favorite of mine, and a loadout that can be adjusted according to the mission specs. The armor can also be tweaked cosmetically depending on the unit. Republic Commando armor is more like a Swiss Army knife than a suit, but you gotta give the people of Commando credit for crafting this little piece of gear. Despite not being a suit of armor wearable by a player, Solid Snake comes the closest to a true power suit in the Metal Gear franchise. Raiden and Grey Fox, despite being more prolific, are cyborgs from how their armor also doubles as their real bodies and life support. Despite that, Solid Snake's suit has quite a few tricks of its own. From the first cutscene he shows up in, you know Solidus is capable of some shit. This suit takes the user's abilities and ramps him up to 11. Solidus can run so fast, a trail of fire is left in his wake. If this were Death Battle, I could probably tell you how fast he had to be to do that, but let's just say, very fast. The suit can harden to protect against gunshots and even rockets. The speed of function can even be used for swordplay, allowing Solidus to move so fast he can use the sword to deflect gunfire. Then we get to the tentacle arms, which can be used for melee combat and firing rockets at dudes. Despite the suit itself being a fairly vanilla upgrade to Solidus' base abilities, the fact that this thing isn't even grafted onto him is a pretty impressive feat. We're still talking about power suits in video games only, but there's one solitary reason why Tony Stark's suit is even in here. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There are surprisingly few playable characters in the fighting games that wear power suits, but considering one of my favorite fighting games has the suit, may as well talk about it. Right off the bat, the suit's pretty impressive, allowing Tony to fight on par with gods and demons, and he's generally a solid mid-tier character. The suit itself, as per lore, is armed with thrusters for flight, many different armaments like bombs and rockets, lasers and force repulsors from different points on the body, and augments Tony's normal strength to fairly high levels. Impressively, the suit itself is modular, with being able to have different loadouts and solvable parts on the fly. That said though, the Iron Man suit isn't able to compete with entries higher in the list, but I'll give credit where it's due. Tony's got himself a pretty impressive toaster. Introducing the first reason Iron Man wasn't higher in the list. The Berserker armor from, well, Berserk, is more akin to a weapon than a traditional suit of armor. The suit's primary use is unshackling the brain's limits on the body. allowing the wielder to tap into their complete power while numbing pain. As the name implies, it also feeds on the user's inner rage and hatred, turning them into a blind machine of violence. For comparison, Guts was getting completely dominated by Grunbeld before donning the armor. Once inside, Guts decisively turned the tables on Grunbeld, not only forcing him into his apostle state to even stay alive, but fighting back even when transformed. The sheer enormity of the Berserker armor's benefits is matched by its risks though. As stated, the user goes wild and will attack anything, friend or foe, before consuming the wielder and killing them from blood loss. In Berserk and the Band of the Hawk, the change in gameplay style really shows how unhinged it makes Guts. The release of Guts' muscles lets him fly all over the screen, clearing out everything with little effort. However the hell Dwarves made this monstrosity, one can't deny its destructive capabilities. It's not the most powerful suit on this list, nor does it increase any of your latent abilities. What the engineering rig does allow you to do though, is survive. The engineering suit has seen Isaac Clarke survive 2 full necromorph outbreaks, and even brushes with the Brethren Moon, which is hilarious because as the name implies, this thing isn't even meant for combat, but welding and fixing shit. The suit's highly upgradable, allowing for its health upgrades and the amount of damage you can take from enemies. In Dead Space 2, you even have individual suits with their own unique benefits, like damage buffs and stasis expansions. I also gotta mention the thrusters this guy gets in Dead Space 2. Dead Space 3 would see Isaac get the strongest suits to date, with rechargeable stasis and a suit that can survive impossibly cold temperatures. It looks fucking sick by the way. It's no wonder Isaac has lived through multiple necrotic armies being thrown at him. One can only imagine the faces of the guys who made this suit when they learned what Isaac lived through using it. Originally the number 4 spot, the Praetor suit from Doom is quite the piece of work. Lore wise, this thing is pretty cool. It's made of Argent energy, which essentially means it's made of Hell energy. Upon absorbing more Argent energy, Doomguy can funnel it into upgrades for his suit's weapon and defensive capabilities. It can also be modified with Praetor tokens into various perks, like environmental resistance, area scanning technology, effectiveness of power-ups, and so on. Coupled with infinite oxygen in a vacuum, this thing is like an upgraded version of the engineering rig. But there's a few things holding the Praetor suit back. Most of the feats of strength you see Doomguy do is under his own strength. The suit is essentially just an additional means of protection and doesn't offer much in the way of offense. Still though, when fully upgraded, the Praetor suit is a suit of armor worthy of the man named Doomslayer. When it comes to a suit of armor being called power armor, I'm fairly certain Reinhardt covers that from top to bottom. Him and his Crusader armor might be the most overblown heavy armor you'll find here, but don't mistake that as showing off. This mammoth of a suit packs as much power as it looks like it does. The suit adds 200 armor to his already chunky 300 hit points. It comes equipped with his trademark shield, one of the most lauded abilities in the game and frequent staple of team comps. In the back of the suit is a booster, allowing him to charge and pin enemies to walls. Finally, the suit magnifies Reinhardt's already impressed strength, letting him send out massive shockwaves with his hammer. I won't lie, Farah was in serious talks of being here instead of Reinhardt, but when it comes to being a pure power suit, even if Farah can fly, Reinhardt takes his spot by sheer force alone. Let's just get this out of the way. The top 3 of this list were a bitch to sort. Coming up at 3rd is the N7 armor for the Mass Effect trilogy. Considering how damn popular this thing is, with all the swappable add-ons and armor pieces, you'll seldom find 2 Commander Shepards that are the same. This thing packs some really strong shielding that regenerate after a few seconds. You can tweak almost every nook and cranny on this goddamn thing. The armor comes with a helmet that allows for breathing in space, strengthens the user's bionic abilities, and with the perks each piece of armor can be set with, it can be increased further. Yeah, this suit is fun. You can be almost whatever you want with this thing in terms of class. Sniper, tank, biotic specialist, vanilla soldier, or you can even mix it up. The stat spreads this armor lets you do, coupled with its diverse aesthetics and sheer reliability, means you're never without an answer for what life throws at you. Some of you are gonna laugh at what I'm about to say, but it's absolutely true. Prior to playing this list, I never played a Halo game to completion or even had my own copy. Since people will be at my front door with pitchforks and I needed to try a series anyway, I got into Halo just to talk about the Mjolnir suit. The lore for this guy is expansive, so to save some time in this already exhaustive list, I'll focus on the Mark V power assault armor. A lot of armor shown up to now gives some inherent increase to the user's base abilities. The Mjolnir armor dials up to 12. It gives such a power increase, it can seriously injure or kill the user if they aren't trained to use it through a Spartan program. It was also the first of its kind to have an energy shield system, technology taken from the Covenant. It's equipped with a heads-up display that shows where enemies are, includes an interface for an AI to assist in a number of things, a crystalline weave that multiplies reflex time and lifting ability. Somebody please tell me what that means. And a neural interface letting the user move with no hindrance whatsoever. To put it simply, and to not sound pretentious like a lot of lists I've seen talk about the Mjolnir armor, the suit takes an ordinary soldier and it really does turn him into a one-man army. Now this is all well and good, but it's just slightly outperformed by the last entry.
Alright then, watch from your box seat. Now, make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
I tried, guys. I really did. While the Mjolnir armor grants Master Chief benefits across the board, Samus's power suit does all of that and then some. The big tiebreaker for me was how the Mark V shields work. While it can block out a ton of fire, it's incredibly weak to energy shots and EMPs. Samus's shielding doesn't have this weakness, and his shields can be strengthened greatly over her journeys. For the most part, every major benefit suits on this list give to people is either matched or outdone by the power suit. It has both a radar and 3-dimensional map of entire worlds. It is so modular that it can meld with alien technology and adapt to system-crippling corruption. It ramps up her strength, it can be upgraded to survive any hostile environment, and a built-in arm can can house dozens of different types of weaponry. I will say that it sometimes has weird weaknesses, and Samus can't take any hits when her shields are down, but these instances are very rare. One of the most unique aspects of the suit are its modes of transportation. The waterfall can be used to dodge attacks and roll into very cramped spaces inaccessible to most. The space jump and grapple beam can clear chasms and scale impossible heights. Then we have the screw attack, which looks flashy, and can be used to kill enemies in one hit while just jumping. All of these insane traits are made even more potent and enhance the galaxy's greatest bounty hunter. Also, sorry to the guys who were expecting Warhammer. I have no experience with this series, but I acknowledge the terminal armor is cool as hell.
I will have a tech priest give you the knowledge instantly with the power of science. There we go.
Jesus Christ, that video took forever. It was supposed to be out a month ago, but family emergencies and tons of research slowed us to a crawl. Obviously, a lot of people won't agree with all the placements or entries here, so let's get a discussion going. Let some of your picks in the comments below. Well, it's time for me to rest and go piss someone else off. Peace.